seems like far too much work. In other ways, though, civility in the 21st century looks very much like it did before, even if its tenets are now applied in different ways. Today, we hear about the importance of authenticity and transparency. Back then, it was known as telling the truth. Today, teamwork is the mantra. Back then, you couldn't win a game of touch football without it. Today, organizations are embracing conversation cultures, as though conversing with colleagues is a new workplace invention. Last century, there were expectations of appropriate attire and behavior on the job. Today, there still are, even if they are defined in new ways. Of course, much has changed, dramatically. In the 20th century, questions about how to refer to a gay colleague's spouse, whether it was okay to text the boss at home over the weekend, or how to handle a checkered online past, did not come up because the situations did not yet exist. Add to this the generational challenge, as millennials, considered digital natives because they grew up with digital technology, try to work side by side with digital immigrants, traditionalists, baby boomers, and Gen Xers. These generations speak different languages, hold different values, and have different goals. Some say that because of the sheer number of millennials and their presumed influence, a new playbook for workplace behavior should be designed predominantly with this group in mind. But millennials are still outnumbered by the previous generations combined, and the previous generations are still mostly in charge. Gen Z is also coming up fast. Soon there will be 5 generations needing to figure out how to work together. In a workplace rife with opportunity for misunderstanding, people often do the wrong thing, at great expense to relationships and reputations. Workplace incivility, unintentional or sometimes deliberate, is rampant. 9 out of 10 employees say they have experienced or witnessed incivility on the job, and it's costly. Job stress, much of which stems from workplace incivility, costs U.S. corporations $300 billion a year. How do employee populations come together with such disparate ways of looking at the work environment today? How are best behavioral practices identified to mitigate misunderstandings and ensure everyone feels understood and heard within a corporate culture? How do individuals and organizations burnish personal and company brands to position themselves most competitively in a fiercely competitive global arena? It's a tall order, but it can be done. It requires adoption of a new playbook for workplace behavior that respects the individual, which in turn paves the way for the greatest mutual success. Excuse Me takes on this challenge, incorporating dozens of real-life scenarios, hundreds of practical tips, valuable advice from those on the front line, and resources for additional information. Excuse Me explores what it takes to survive and thrive in today's demanding global workplace. It takes a look at the root of workplace disrespect, from corporate cultures and the behaviors they allow, to the uncertainty in interacting with coworkers of different genders, races, sexual orientations, cultures, physical abilities, and backgrounds. A respectful workplace is a more pleasant workplace, and there are very real bottom-line advantages that accrue to organizations that uphold them. Eric Imperato, a principal at the accounting firm Wolf & Company, said, "In a commodity marketplace, it's easy to translate skills into shareholder value. People are differentiated by how they behave and can charge greater rates as a result." As readers go through these pages and consider the innumerable ways they are evaluated in the workplace, they may find themselves thinking, "Uh-oh, I should have been doing that," or, "Whoa, I definitely should not have been doing that." Have readers made missteps? If they are anything like me, they have, and will again. This is understandable. There is a great deal of new information to absorb and realities to accept. These, combined with everyday work and life stresses, create an ideal environment for interpersonal missteps. The very good news is that the practice of on-the-job etiquette does not require anyone to be perfect. It only requires a good faith effort to know and do the right thing, and when one errs, to employ the all-powerful apology to